In this vocabulary lesson, we're going to look at essential language used when talking about transport. Going through the list, we have long haul, the underground, motorway, congestion, carpool, traffic jam, transit, and emissions. All quite interesting pieces of language for talking about transport. And first up, we have long haul. 80% of the time when this phrase is used, it's used to discuss a long flight. A long haul flight is probably considered something over 8 or 9 hours long. Usually it means around sort of 11, 12, 13, 14 hour flights. Here are some examples. Due to my parents' work, I often spent a lot of time on long haul flights. The trip from France to Japan is very much a long haul trip. So here we have long haul. Again, it's mostly used when talking about flights. Now we have the underground. This is a very British expression, and I believe some other native English speakers would maybe not understand this, but it's a noun that we use to or we give this noun to our tube stations or our subway stations. The underground in London is called exactly that. It is the underground. The underground system in London is the oldest subway network in the world. Although the underground is useful, it can be quite expensive. Very true. Let's move on to our next piece of vocabulary, which is motorway. In American English, it is actually called a highway, but in British English, we use this word motorway, and it is used to describe a long piece of road where cars can travel very fast. Over half of adults spent more than 50% of their commute driving on the motorway. Again, that looks like a task 1, IELTS writing task 1 type sentence. There was a lot of traffic on the motorway this morning, and I've highlighted that word traffic. Traffic is an expression we use to talk about many cars together where you can't drive quickly and you're stuck. Okay, moving on, we have congestion. Now, congestion is usually caused by traffic. Congestion is similar in a way to traffic. There are lots of cars together, and we use this word congestion to describe not being able to drive quickly and being packed together, jam-packed if you remember that from the last vocabulary lesson. Due to congestion, many people in Manchester now bike to work. Many people believe that congestion has caused a steep rise in pollution in the city centre. Congestion, too many cars to travel properly. This phrase carpool refers to a group of people, occasionally strangers, who decide to share one car to go somewhere. There may be 2, 3 or 4 passengers in the car, and they will share the money for petrol and fuel, and they may also share driving. I once travelled to Spain in a carpool where we shared fuel costs and driving. In the last decade, many people are choosing to commute by carpool to save money. And here we have traffic. This is a commonly used expression to talk about a road that is too full with cars, too much traffic, which means that cars are not moving at all. Roads in Australia are very organised and generally have less traffic jams. I must admit I absolutely hate being stuck in a traffic jam. And next up is transit. Transit simply means to travel to somewhere. Graham is currently in transit and should arrive here sometime tomorrow morning. Due to damages to roads, there was delays in transit systems over the weekend. That's a common collocation, transit system, whether it's train, underground, buses or anything else, a transit system. And here we have emissions. Emissions refer specifically to the pollution that cars and buses and other modes of transport give off. The rise in emissions over recent years has led to some health problems. The government is trying to cut emissions by promoting riding bikes. Again, this is a common collocation. If emissions are falling, we say cut emissions. If you're trying to lower the emissions in a place, you want to cut emissions. Okay, here is your vocabulary list for words associated with transport. Have a go at using them in your speaking and your writing. See you in the next lesson.